The 36th United States Congress was a meeting of the legislative branch of the United States federal government, consisting of the United States Senate and the United States House of Representatives. It met in Washington, D.C. from March 4, 1859, to March 4, 1861, during the third and fourth years of James Buchanan's presidency. The apportionment of seats in the House of Representatives was based on the Seventh Census of the United States in 1850. The Senate had a Democratic majority, and the House had a Republican plurality. Major events: June 8, 1859. Comstock lode discovered in the western Utah Territory, present-day Nevada. August 27, 1859. First oil well was drilled in the United States, near Titusville, Pennsylvania. October 16 to 18, 1859. John Brown's raid on Harper's Ferry began. December 2, 1859. John Brown executed. April 3, 1860. Pony Express began its first run. April 23 to May 3, 1860. Democratic National Convention held in Charleston, South Carolina. Unable to agree on a nominee, the delegates voted to reconvene in June. May 9, 1860. Constitutional Union Party National Convention held in Baltimore, Maryland, nominating John Bell for president. May 18, 1860. Republican National Convention held in Chicago, Illinois, nominating Abraham Lincoln for president. June 18 to 23, 1860. Democratic Party reconvened in Baltimore, Maryland, nominating Stephen A. Douglas for president. June 26 to 28, 1860. Southern Democrats held a convention in Richmond, Virginia, nominating John C. Breckinridge for president. November 6, 1860. U.S. presidential election. Abraham Lincoln beat John C. Breckinridge, Stephen A. Douglas, and John Bell. December 20, 1860. South Carolina Secession Convention enacted an Ordinance of Secession. January 3, 1861. Delaware Secession Convention voted not to secede from the Union. January 9, 1861. Mississippi Secession Convention enacted an Ordinance of Secession. January 10, 1861. Florida Secession Convention enacted an Ordinance of Secession. January 11, 1861. Alabama Secession Convention enacted an Ordinance of Secession. January 18, 1861. Georgia Secession Convention enacted an Ordinance of Secession. January 26, 1861. Louisiana Secession Convention enacted an Ordinance of Secession. January 29, 1861. Kansas admitted to the Union as a free state. February 1, 1861. Texas Secession Convention enacted an Ordinance of Secession. February 23, 1861. The people of Texas ratified its Ordinance of Secession. President-elect Abraham Lincoln arrived secretly in Washington, D.C., after an assassination attempt in Baltimore, Maryland. Major legislation. June 16, 1860. Pacific Telegraph Act of 1860. Ch. 147. 12 Stat. 41. March 2, 1861. Morrill Tariff. Ch. 68. 12 Stat. 178. December 18, 1860. Introduced. Crittenden Compromise. Rejected by the House of Representatives and the Senate. Constitutional Amendments. March 2, 1861. Approved an amendment to the United States Constitution that would shield domestic institutions of the states, which in 1861 included slavery, from the constitutional amendment process and from abolition or interference by Congress, and submitted it to the state legislatures for ratification. 12 Stat. 251. This amendment, commonly known as the Corwin Amendment, has not been ratified and is still pending before the states. Treaties. March 8, 1859. Quinol Treaty ratified. 12 Stat. 927. March 8, 1859. No. Treaty ratified. 12 Stat. 933. States admitted and territories organized. January 29, 1861. Kansas admitted as a state. Ch. 20. 12 Stat. 126. February 28, 1861. Colorado Territory organized. Ch. 59. 12 Stat. 172. March 2, 1861. Nevada Territory organized. Ch. 83. 12 Stat. 209. March 2, 1861. Dakota Territory organized. Ch. 86. 12 Stat. 239. Party Summary. Senate. House of Representatives. Leadership. Senate. President. John C. Breckinridge. D. President pro tempore. Benjamin Fitzpatrick. D. Until February 26, 1860. Jesse D. Bright. D. June 12 to 13, 1860. Benjamin Fitzpatrick. D. June 26, 1860. December 2, 1860. Solomon Foote. R. Elected February 16, 1861. House of Representatives. Speaker. William Pennington. R. Elected February 1, 1860. Democratic Caucus Chairman. George S. Houston. Members. This list is arranged by chamber, then by state. Senators are listed by class, and representatives are listed by district. Skip to House of Representatives. Below. Senate. Senators were elected by the state legislatures every 2 years, with 1/3 beginning new 6-year terms with each Congress. Preceding the names in the list below are Senate class numbers, which indicate the cycle of their election. In this Congress, Class 1 meant a term began in the last Congress, requiring re-election in 1862. Class 2 meant their term began with this Congress, requiring re-election in 1864. And Class 3 meant their term ended with this Congress, requiring re-election in 1860. House of Representatives. The names of members of the House of Representatives are preceded by their district numbers. Changes in membership. The count below reflects changes from the beginning of the first session of this Congress. Senate. Replacements. 4. Democrats. D. No net change. Republicans. R. No net change. Deaths. 1. Resignations. 1. Interim appointments. 1. Withdrawals. 13. Total seats with changes. 16. House of Representatives. Replacements. 7. Democrats. D. No net change. Republicans. R. 1 seat net loss. Anti-Lecompton Democrats. LD. 1 seat net gain. Deaths. 4. Resignations. 3. Contested election. 1. Withdrawals. 28. Total seats with changes. 41. Committees. Lists of committees and their party leaders. Senate. Alter and improve Senate chamber. Select. Amendments to the Constitution. Select. Audit and control the contingent expenses of the Senate. Banks of the District of Columbia. Select. Circulation of bank notes in the District of Columbia. Select. Claims. Commerce. Controller William Medal. Select. Distributing public revenue among the states. Select. District of Columbia. Duties of imports. Select. Finance. Foreign relations. French spoliations. Select. Harper's Ferry invasion. Select. Indian affairs. Judiciary. Memorial of whom as land settlers. Select. Military affairs. Naval affairs. Ordnance and warships. Select. Pacific Railroad. Select. Patents and the Patent Office. Pensions. Post Office and Post Roads. Printing. Public printing investigation. Select. Private land claims. Public lands. Retrenchment. Revolutionary claims. Tariff regulation. Select. Territories. 13 on the disturbed condition of the country. Select. Whole. House of Representatives. Accounts. Agriculture. Claims. Commerce. District of Columbia. Elections. Engraving. Expenditures in the Interior Department. Expenditures in the Navy Department. Expenditures in the Post Office Department. Expenditures in the State Department. Expenditures in the Treasury Department. Expenditures in the War Department. Expenditures on public buildings. Foreign affairs. Indian affairs. Invalid pensions. Manufactures. Mileage. Military affairs. Militia. Naval affairs. Patents. Post office and post roads. Public buildings and grounds. Public expenditures. Public lands. Revisal and unfinished business. Revolutionary claims. Roads and canals. Rules. Select. Standards of official conduct. Territories. Ways and means. Whole. Joint committees. Enrolled bills. Making arrangements for inaugurating Washington's statue. Employees. Architect of the Capitol. Thomas U. Walter. Librarian of Congress. John Silver Meehan. Senate. Chaplain. Stephen P. Hill. Baptist. Phineas D. Gurley. Presbyterian. Elected December 15, 1859. Secretary. Asbury Dickens. Sergeant-at-Arms. Dunning R. McNair. House of Representatives. Clerk. James C. Allen. John W. Forney. Elected February 3, 1860. Chaplain. William H. Milburn. Methodist. Doorkeeper. George Marston. Messenger. Thaddeus Morris. Postmaster. Josiah M. Lucas. Reading clerks. Data unknown, missing. You can help. Sergeant-at-Arms. Henry William Hoffman. See also. United States elections. 1858. Elections leading to this Congress. United States Senate elections. 1858 and 1859. United States House of Representatives elections. 1858 and 1859. United States elections. 1860. Elections during this Congress, leading to the next Congress. United States presidential election. 1860. United States Senate elections. 1860 and 1861. United States House of Representatives elections. 1860. Notes. Martis. Kenneth C. 1989. The Historical Atlas of Political Parties in the United States Congress. New York. Macmillan Publishing Company. Martis. Kenneth C. 1982. The Historical Atlas of United States Congressional Districts. New York. Macmillan Publishing Company. Hart. Albert Bushnell. Channing. Edward. eds. November 1893. Ordinances of Secession and Other Documents. 1862-1861. American History Leaflets Colonial and Constitutional. 12. New York. A. Lovell and Company. OCLC 7,759,360. Archived from the original on 13 April 2008. Retrieved 15 November 2017. Statutes at Large. 1789 to 1875. Senate Journal. First 43 sessions of Congress. House Journal. First 43 sessions of Congress. Biographical Directory of the U.S. Congress. U.S. House of Representatives. House History. U.S. Senate. Statistics and Lists. Congressional Directory for the 36th Congress. Second Session.